welcome to Mystery Mike. Thank you all for tuning in. Alrighty. I remember when I was a little boy, and my dad would come home from work, and he would come home and tell us all that we're going to the ocean. And I remember I was so happy, man. I'd be running around and yelling, saying, alright, and happy as could be, and we all go to the ocean. So tonight, we can close our eyes. I know you're thinking I'm too old to do this. Hey, it don't matter how old or how young you are. We're going to close our eyes, and we're going to the ocean. Now, I don't know where y'all live, but whatever's the closest ocean or the ocean you go to, just think about it. Right now, I'm down at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. Now you can all open your eyes up. Okay, now roll your pants up and let's get down on the beach. It's kind of hot. Boy, that sun is a little stressful, but we're going to go look for some shells. Alrighty. I'll save the best for last. Alright. Now that our feet are all wet and even the edges of our pants because the waves come in and got us, look at all those chickens. I mean seashells. You know, when I was a little boy, I always used to say yeah, I always used to say she shells. Alrighty, everybody likes looking on the beaches for seashells, and I remember as being a little boy, you know, my mom would always get the big conch shells and after we went home with them, she'd say, if you put that up to your ear, you can hear the ocean. Well, naturally, if you put it up to your ear, and you do hear like a little, I don't know what you would want to call it, but you can take your hand and cup your ear, or take a cup and put it over your ear, and you can hear the same thing. It's just when you cover your ear, this sounds a little bit like the ocean. Gotta use your imagination. Now, I do not know all the names of my seashells. My brother, he knows them pretty good. I always refer to my brother because he's 10 years older than me, and I'm not just saying this because he's my brother, but very knowledgeable of a lot of things, especially when it comes to nature. So, anyway, this shell here, and you can all tell me too, if you want to say, well, Mystery Mike, that shell's a so-and-so, I would just call it some kind of snail shell. And look how nice this one is here. Now, as far as I know, I could be wrong, I always call it a scallop shell. Look how neat and nice that is. Isn't nature so amazing? Now this here, I would think is a scallop shell too. Why is it darker? I don't know. I don't know if it's a different kind of scallop or if it was down in the mud. I don't know. But if y'all know, you can tell me. Now, this shell here, you'll probably all laugh, but I just know it as a hermit shell. It looks like a, I don't know, a baby conch shell. And that's what the hermit crabs all like to make their little house out of. But look how nice and neat and how pretty that is. Now, let me see here. Alright, and here's a neat little baby. The hermit crab shell. Like I said, I don't know the true name of that shell. It looks like a baby. It's got a little piece of hair on it there. It looks like a little baby conch shell. But I don't know. But that's something was bigger, a hermit crab would go in. I don't know what kind of shell that looks like. Another little snail shell. Something like you would see on SpongeBob SquarePants. This here looks like a clamshell. Where I grew up at the upper Chesapeake, you always found those cherry stone clams. Now, this is another type of shell, and they call that like mother of pearl. See it there? These are just some more scallop shells. Always makes me start thinking about seafood, scallops and oysters and shrimp. That's it. After we get done, I'll tell you what we all can do. After we get done here on the beach, let's all go up on a boardwalk, get some boardwalk fries, and then hit the seafood restaurant. I'll tell you a funny story. We were down there at, now this is when I took my family, oh, I don't know, I guess about 8 years ago. It was me, my wife, my son, and my daughter, and my daughter's friend. My daughter and her friend went up on the boardwalk to get boardwalk fries. And the next thing we know, 10-15 minutes later, here she comes holding the fries in a cup in the air, screaming and running as the seagulls are chasing her. You know those seagulls, well, if you're familiar with the ocean, those seagulls just will attack you. And she's running and they're swooping down trying to get the fries. We said, cover the fries up, put them down. It was so funny. These are just a lot of the scallop shells. At least that's what I think they are. See if I can find something different here. Now here's just a piece of, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a clam shell that's been, you know, just polished by the sand and the water. Oh, watch it. Here comes a wave. Watch. Gotcha. How many times you've been in the ocean and kind of turn your back on a wave and somebody's taking your picture and you're waving and a big old wave comes and just knocks you down and you look around like, I hope nobody's seen that. That was embarrassing. I remember when I was a little kid, you know, I was too little, but I always wanted to get a raft and go out and ride the waves. So I remember, oh, I don't know, I must have been 12 years old or whatever, and I rented a raft, and I'm carrying it out like this. Well, naturally, when a wave hits me, man, it just buried me in sand in my mouth. Man, it was probably 2 more years before I rented a raft. Never go out facing waves like that. Always hold them up. Always have a lot of family fun on the beach. There's another little shell. But you know, Mother Nature is so unique. And so special. Now that looks like, on the left there, like it was next to a piece of metal, like if it rusted into the shell or something. Let me youngsters out there that live in Maryland and went down to Ocean City or Delaware Beach at Rehoboth, I'm sure one time or two in your life you probably had hermit crabs. Let me know. Say, yeah, say I sure did. Alright, I'm going to save the best for last. It looks like they're mostly scallop shells. Alrighty, does everybody know what that is? And this is a good one. This is a sand dollar. And this is the skeleton of the sand dollar. Now, I'm not too sure, but can you... I'm not sure exactly what that is, and they're rattling around. But this is a nice one. And, it's not broken. They can break real easy. They're kind of fragile. So it's kind of nice when you get one this big and it's not broken. And as far as I know, that's where they would eat right there. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I do know a few things about it. It eats the sand. I don't think it actually eats the sand, but it eats the algae on the sand. But then you also have black sand, and black sand is like, as far as I know, that's metal. And I think it actually eats that because it actually makes it weigh a little bit more. It makes it a little bit heavier. And I guess it eats that black sand being metal that makes it heavy. So for the tides going back and forth, I guess to keep it heavier so it don't float, I'm not quite sure. But it does like to take that black sand, which is metal, for weight. And as far as I know, now there's a name for it, I don't know, but this would be full, like little, the skin or whatever would be on it. And then it would have the little hairs all on it. And I don't know everything it eats, but if a little piece of food that it would eat and it would fall here, from what I understand, the hairs can move it around, and then down on the bottom here, I guess, where it can go over and eat it. So that's kind of neat. Just look at the design underneath there. It's really neat. And then the design on top. How unique Mother Nature is. Alrighty, well, let's get up on a boardwalk and go get those boardwalk fries. And I'm sure we'll have room for the seafood. Alrighty, well, I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I want to thank everybody for watching. And if your fingers are wandering over thinking one might hit the subscribe button, I sure would appreciate it. And keep me in on any kind of fishing or turkey hunting. Let me know. And let me know if you ever had any hermit crabs as a kid. Alrighty, just remember, be someone important. Be yourself. Till next time, God bless. See ya.